Three injured in Lence Tav drive-by shooting. 3 men were shot and injured during a drive-by attack at Burnshop district in Lence Tav, St. Andrew on Monday morning. The men, one of whom police believe was the target of the gunmen, have all been hospitalized, the police noted. It was reported that around 8 a.m., a silver Nissan Bluebird drove up and several men inside opened fire at all 3. The vehicle then sped away from the location, the police noted. The 3 injured men were rushed to hospital, where they were treated for gunshot wounds to the abdomen. No motive has yet been established for the shooting, the police noted. Businessman gunned down at establishment in St. Anne. A businessman was shot and killed at his establishment in Runaway Bay, St. Anne on Monday. Police have identified the deceased as 36-year-old Dwayne Wilson, otherwise called Baghdad or Chris, of Runaway Bay in the parish. Reports from the Runaway Bay police are that about 3:25 a.m., Wilson was at his establishment when a gunman came up to the window of the building and opened gunfire at him. An alarm was raised by residents and the police responded. On the arrival of the lawmen, Wilson was seen inside his establishment with gunshot wounds to his upper body. He was transported to hospital where he was pronounced dead. Body with alleged crocodile bites found in St. Elizabeth. The decomposed body of a man, believed to have been bitten by a crocodile, was found at the Black River Safari in Black River, St. Elizabeth, Monday morning. The body has still not been identified, the police stated. Reports are that about 12:15 a.m., fishermen were on the Black River Safari fishing when they saw a body floating in the water. They made an alarm and members of the Black River Marine Police responded and took the body to the shore of the Hendricks Wharf in Black River. The body, police stated, was of dark complexion, medium built, about 5 feet 7 inches long, and sported a low natural haircut. It had its left arm missing and the right hand mantled with what appeared to be crocodile bites. The body was clad in green underpants, black pants, with a black belt pulled down to the ankle, and a brown shoe fitted on the right foot. It had no shirt on. The body was removed to the Black River Hospital, where it was pronounced dead. It was then transported to the morgue pending a post-mortem examination, the police noted. St. Catherine North Police say normalcy has returned to Spanish Town and its environs following flare-up of violence at the weekend. Head of the St. Catherine North Police Superintendent Hopton Nicholson says normalcy has returned to Spanish Town and its environs following a flare-up of violence at the weekend. Superintendent Nicholson, alongside St. Catherine South Commander SSP Christopher Phillips, and other members of the JCF toured the area yesterday morning. The tour came amid reports of heightened tensions in several communities following the fatal shooting of an alleged gangster by the police on Friday. In the morning, at least a dozen schools in St. Catherine switched to online modality to ensure the safety of the students. Speaking to reporters, Superintendent Nicholson said it was business as usual for Spanish Town and the area is safe to traverse. Meanwhile, he urged citizens to rely on trusted sources for updates and to be aware of misinformation in a bid to avoid unnecessary panic. He added that both the JCF and the JDF force have deployed personnel in the parish to ensure peace, security, and public order.
This morning, we toured the Spanish Town area, visited the men and women who have been deployed. We realized that businesses are open. We realize that commuters are going to and from. The area is relatively normal at this time. There's nothing unusual at this time. And the general Spanish Town area is safe for persons to traverse at this time. The heightened security forces, the presence will continue, and we hope that persons understand that the security forces are definitely on the ground to maintain law and order. And we will continue for as long as it requires us to be here.
There are a lot of information circulating on social media, unverified information. Persons are splicing old videos and saying that it's the current situation in Spanish Town. We ask that you use the JCF corporate communication, whether the web page or the social media page for current information, or you wait until the mainstream media put out a credible report on the status of what is going on.
Man beaten after attack on elderly doctor in Spanish Town. An 81-year-old medical doctor was reportedly attacked and cut in her face by a man said to be of unsound mind. Reports are that the man entered the doctor's office on Martin Street in Spanish Town, St. Catherine on Monday and attacked her with a knife. Information reaching reporters that the incident happened around midday. The doctor reportedly received a cut below the right eye. An alarm was raised, and the man was eventually held and beaten by residents. He has since been hospitalized. His name has not yet been ascertained. Another medical doctor reportedly treated the elderly physician for what is considered a small laceration. The police say they were told of the incident and are trying to obtain a statement, but reveal that their efforts have reportedly proven futile. Measures being put in place to ensure schools, hotels, and residents in Western Jamaica receive water amidst lingering drought. Measures are being put in place to ensure that schools, hotels, and residents in Western Jamaica receive water amidst the lingering drought. Minister with responsibility for water, Matty Samoda, gave the assurance during a press briefing, noting that Westmoreland and Hanover are among Western parishes being affected significantly by drought conditions. Mr. Samoda said the government is working to mitigate the effects. He said following a directive from Prime Minister Andrew Holness, schools in those areas will receive special attention. Mr. Samoda assured hoteliers in Western Jamaica that they will be supplied with water. He also committed to ensuring that residents of affected parishes are informed about water challenges. Mr. Samoda said he plans to meet with residents soon in a bid to improve communication. He added that further meetings will be held with Energy Minister Darrell Valls regarding water disruptions caused by power cuts.
He asked that in a partnership with ourselves and the Ministry of Education, that an immediate assessment led by Rural Water is to be done for all public schools in Hanover and Westmoreland, with a move to increase water storage over the next 4 to 6 weeks. As you would have seen, the projections for increased rainfall do not paint the picture we would like. As such, we will be intervening to ensure that all of our schools have adequate storage. I've also had discussions with Mr. Kevin Carr about increasing the monitoring and rate of trucking to our educational institutions. We don't intend to allow for any learning loss with any of our schools. Now, our regional manager has done a good job in communicating with the regional directors of the Ministry of Education and indeed all of our schools. We will be moving to set up a troubleshooting network by way of a WhatsApp group and an email line dedicated to schools to ensure that they are not disrupted. There is concern within the hotel sector as you lead up to Memorial Weekend in May. That is a secondary peak period for hotel stays, which you do go through the lull post the winter season. I want to assure the hotel sector that I would have met with Mr. Carr earlier this morning, and there is a safety net that will be put in place to ensure that hotels from Western St. James all the way into Western Westmoreland at the tip of the West End will be protected and their business will not be disrupted. The issues that I hear from the average consumer, the average citizen there, the first one, 2.5 months ago, would have been a rate of communication, that they weren't a part of a stakeholder group, so they didn't necessarily know what was happening. Not all are tech savvy and have their email addresses or getting the text messages, so not everyone was fully connected. The Water Commission, and indeed the ministry, has made an effort, has redoubled its effort rather, to communicate with citizens. I think you'd see our social media communicating, and I know that our regional management team is in contact with virtually all of the CDC groups in parish. That's not sufficient. Later this week, I will visit myself and we will meet with several community leaders to look at how we communicate so that persons are able to plan at the community level. Either because of JPS servicing a network where there wasn't necessarily integration in planning on the JPS perspective with NWC. So NWC may have a scheduled supply, but JPS has scheduled works to take place on their power supply at the time where we need to pump water. I've met with Minister Vaz, and we will be convening a discussion between the NWC and JPS to ensure that works where possible, not always possible, where maintenance works in these areas that are disproportionately affected by water supply, that we coordinate.
New head of St. James Police reveals plan to revamp police youth clubs. Superintendent of Police, SP Aaron Samuels, has announced plans to revive police youth clubs across St. James. The senior cop who recently took over command of the St. James Police Division from SSP Vernon Ellis revealed last Tuesday that a joint training program was launched in schools, which will result in members of the police youth clubs being trained as drone pilots. Ellis was recently transferred to the Area 2 Police Headquarters. Cadet programs in 7 schools within St. James will also benefit from the endeavor. The aim of that program is to increase the membership of the Police Youth Club in schools and in the cadets, and also to provide them with opportunities for entrepreneurship and employment. We are seeking to recruit some of them for us JCF as well, stated Samuels. But it will also surge into building out the youth clubs in schools, because these same youth clubites in schools go back to the communities and help to build the communities and the clubs in their communities. The St. James Police Head also expressed that the division also planned to utilize online platforms such as Zoom to assist with the program's renaissance. We have to face it, we may have a lot of Zoom clubs as well, but we also want to enable the physical element, so that will build a lot of these police stations. These are spaces that can be at home for a lot of these clubs, he shared. Samuels was speaking at the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce meeting in the Tourism Resort City last week, where he also revealed plans to boost neighborhood watch groups across the parish. So we plan to not only build the youth clubs in the schools, but build the neighborhood watch groups and introduce technology to aid in the build-out of these clubs, he noted. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.